Hello, and a massive welcome to all you brilliant project control professionals from Kent Business College. Look, today we're going to completely reframe your role. We're going to take you from being seen as just a schoolkeeper and put you right where you belong, at the very heart of the action, as a true strategic partner in program management.
So let's just kick things off by tackling a big one, a huge misconception, really. Do you ever feel like you're kind of pigeonholed? Like your job only really starts when the delivery phase kicks off? Well, if you do, you're not alone. But today, we are going to completely change that perspective. And this gets us to what I call the project controller's myth. It's this idea that you only get involved when the hammers start swinging. That's the old, really limited way of thinking. And in this explainer, we are going to bust that myth wide open, using the modern framework from MSP 5th edition. So here it is, plain and simple. On the left, you've got that outdated view. Project controls is just about the delivery phase. Simple, right? But it's also wrong. On the right, that's the reality according to MSP 5. Your expertise is absolutely vital before delivery, during all the planning, it's essential during delivery for monitoring, and maybe most importantly, it's critical after delivery for evaluation and forecasting. Your influence, your power, it spans the entire program lifecycle. Okay, let's really get into it. Let's hit the rewind button and go all the way back to the very beginning of a program. I'm talking long before a single baseline is even a thought. This is where your strategic value really starts to kick in, laying that solid foundation for success. First up, step 1, identify the program. You know, at this stage, the biggest question on the table is, should we even be doing this? You're not just sitting on the sidelines waiting for orders here. You are a key player in shaping that initial justification and checking if this whole thing is even possible. And what's so important here is your input. You're the one providing those first high-level cost estimates, checking if it's affordable. You're outlining a rough timeline, and you're flagging the huge strategic risks right from day one. And notice, no earned value management yet. Why? Because there's nothing to measure against. You're helping create the playing field. Okay, now let's move on to the design phase, and you'll see how your contribution gets even deeper. This is where the program really starts taking shape. We're defining the vision, the benefits we hope to see, and what the business is actually going to look like when we're all done. That's the target operating model. And this is where your role gets even more sophisticated. You're now modeling the costs that become the absolute backbone of the business case. You're thinking about how things need to be sequenced. You're putting together the full risk register. I mean, you're basically the architect behind the numbers that will get this whole program the green light. Still no EVM, but all this work, it's building the essential scaffolding for the baseline that's about to come. So now we get to the phase you probably know best, powering up that delivery engine. But here's the thing to remember. The strength and stability of this engine depends entirely on that strategic foundation that you just helped build in the identify and design phases. Which brings us right to step 3, plan progressive delivery. This is the absolute core of project controls design. This is where your deep technical expertise in building those robust, integrated plans really comes to the forefront. This is your playground. And this slide right here illustrates that awesome moment of creation. You define the detailed cost baseline, you build in the contingency, you construct the integrated master schedule, and you run the quantified risk analysis. And then, bam, the magic moment. The performance measurement baseline is officially born. Your planned value is set. The entire system of earned value management is now armed and ready, all because of the meticulous work you did right here. Now, we're at step 4, deliver the capabilities. Think of this as the operational heartbeat of the whole program. The plans are locked in, the teams are doing their thing, and your job is to be the central nervous system. You're monitoring, analyzing, forecasting, and keeping everything on track so leaders can make smart decisions. Right here, you are wielding the full power of project controls. You're tracking actual costs, calculating earned value, digging into every single variance. You are the master of the acronyms, CPI, SPI, EAC, you name it. This is where you provide the cold, hard, objective truth about how the program is performing, which lets leadership steer the ship instead of flying blind. But wait, the work doesn't just stop when the delivery phase wraps up. Not even close. Now we're moving beyond the finish line, into these really crucial steps of adoption and evaluation. And honestly, some of your most strategic work is just getting started. So in step 5, embed the outcomes. The whole focus shifts. and it shifts dramatically. The stuff you were just tracking is now being handed over to the business. The goal isn't just about delivery performance anymore, it's all about making sure that change actually sticks and those benefits we promised start to become a reality. And you have to notice the change in what you're measuring. You're now tracking the costs of the transition itself. You're monitoring how long it's taking people to adopt the new way of working. And you're identifying these new kinds of risks like resistance to change or benefits slowly disappearing. Your traditional EVM, it becomes less relevant here because the questions you're answering are about business impact, not project progress. And now, step 6, evaluate new information. This is where you really evolve from a controller into an intelligence analyst. You're looking back at the performance of the chunk of work that just finished, not just to close the books, but to pull out powerful lessons that are going to shape the entire future of the program. I mean, the level of sophistication here is just key. You're comparing the final costs against the original business case to see if that value proposition actually held up. You're using performance trends like your CPI and SPI, not just to report on the past, but to create predictive forecasts for future work. This is not scorekeeping. This is strategic foresight. So after that whirlwind tour through the entire program lifecycle, let's just pull it all together. Let's look at the complete, redefined picture of your value and see how you function as a totally indispensable strategic partner from the first idea to the final handshake. This, right here, this is the executive view. This is the slide you could show to any program director to prove your value, no questions asked. It maps your critical inputs across cost, schedule, risk, and EVM through every single process. It shows that journey from a vague estimate to a detailed baseline, through intense tracking, and onto advanced forecasting. This proves, without a shadow of a doubt, that you are essential at every single stage. So we come full circle, right back to our central idea. The old view, it's dead. The correct modern view, backed up by the MSP 5th edition framework, confirms it. Project controls is a discipline that provides immense value before, during, and after delivery. This is the gold standard, and it is the key to unlocking your absolute full potential. So, as you continue your studies there at Kent Business College, the real question you should be asking yourself isn't if you should be involved in all these stages, it's how. How are you going to maximize your strategic impact? How will you prepare the forecasts and shape the business cases and provide the kind of intelligence that makes you not just a controller, but a true leader? That's your next move.